Forward on this. Amazing. Well, first of all, I just want to just start by just thanking every single one of you for coming on, for taking the time this evening and saying yes to connecting and to coming together. I think this is something that is, at least for me, and from talking to a few people, I think missing the calls, and missing the connection and just seeing everyone. I think I'm curious, Jill, how long have you been, you can write it in, how long have you been coaching now? It's been like, how long? Or just in the community? Like, even if like, just like in, like how long, all of you actually, roughly how long have you all been, and just like in the community? Almost not, well, 10 years, like 9, 10 years, I think about 2 years. Yeah, and I know Carla, I think Carla's been I think 7 years, she was telling me. And it's something where when you really start doing this and you go through a period where there's a lot of consistency and a lot of connection and then it's kind of like like not there as much, it really shows. At least for me, it really shows in my life, and it shows. And so I want to speak to that a little bit this evening. So this evening, what I wanted to kind of come together and really just kind of connect and share a couple thoughts on really how we can really what I would say is end the year strong, end the year maybe stronger than where we have been walking, right? And this is an opportunity to shift. This is an opportunity to drop in. This is an opportunity, where I'll be asking, a couple questions to you for you guys to reflect. You can share as a small group, so we can share in the group chat. But yeah, just really thanking all of you for taking the time, and I don't take it lightly. Even like I know it's the end of the day, and I know we've all been going through a lot today, and I know like Carla has another call after this, and so I really don't take it lightly. Hi Chelsea, hello. And so good to see Miss Chelsea. Hello. She's like, I don't know, she looks like she's walking somewhere. But yeah, so basically the topic and the theme, and I thought it would be really good because it's been a couple weeks since we've come together again this time, is ending the year strong. And ending the year and really thinking about what are the goals that we have for the rest of this year, as well as thinking ahead to 2023. Carla and I was able to, we met up at a local, Carla ran a local fit club this weekend, and we chatted about how, depending on what our goals are for 2023, how we want to end 2023, even though I know we're still in 2022, but how we want to end 2023, starts now. It really does, especially depending on where we are in our business goals, where we are in our personal goals, really kind of looking a year and a half ahead and saying, okay, there's a lot that can be accomplished in the next 12 months, right? To end next year strong. And so just really, that's really the call to action and the thing that I really want to talk about in this call this evening. And so it's really asking all of us, myself included, which is why I was like, let me set up another team call, is, we're in a season right now, we're going into the winter season, right? Where, I where I am in my life right now, I'm really trying to match up my life with the natural seasons. I think it's a really healthy way to really go about life, right? Like follow nature. Don't go against what's happening, right? If we're in winter season, what is winter? Like when you guys think about winter and you think about nature, and you can drop it in the chat, like when you think about nature and winter, or just what happens in winter, when you think about, what does nature naturally do in the wintertime? Is chilly, right? We want warm, warm foods. I think about hibernation. I think about, that's what, yeah, Joe was like, and that's a big one. Hibernation is the way that I look at it and apply it to us, as coaches, as women, is really, it's an opportunity and an invitation to go inward, right? It's an invitation to really step into self-reflection and to go inward and to nourish ourselves at a deep level, to nourish ourselves, to take care of ourselves, to maybe repair some things from the year, to maybe nourish and get energy again and get stamina again for what comes after winter, spring, right? So so there's this idea, you know, and I really want to encourage all of you, especially as women and as entrepreneurs, you know, we're cyclical, beings. And so I really want to encourage you and invite you to apply this and think about this in your business as well. And you'll see, those of you who have been with me for a long time, you know, as I grow and adapt and as I learn new things, as I, evolve into who I am today, I am bringing, my life experiences and bridging it into this business, because that's really the only way that I know how to continue, right? That's the only way, and that's the only way that it should be, right? As we grow, this business, literally when you commit to this business, it changes your life, with the workouts and with the nutrition. And we have that gift for other people. And what I really want to kind of just like really invite all of you and really, help you to kind of think about is this opportunity of wellness that we have for others, and this opportunity of healing and helping people to return to wholeness and wellness. And I know for me, that's something that gets me excited about this, about the business, about helping people. It's understanding that if I can help other women and other other men and other women and families, if I can help them get healthy, if like really healthy, not just physically healthy, which is what that's like to me, that's our storefront. Our storefront is come and get in shape and, and feel better. But all of us know that it goes so much deeper than that. And to me, that's how I've been able to really, that's why I am still in the business. That's why I still keep showing up. That's why I'm like, you know what, at the end of the day, this business changed my life. This business, when I started back in 2013 and I needed a solution, and I was busy and I was rushing through life and I was surviving in life, right? Which a lot of people are surviving. We know lots of people who are surviving, having a quick and easy solution, having a quick and easy workout was something that was doable for me. And then when I realized that it wasn't just the workouts, but then, when I started working on my nutrition, right? And I started feeling better and I started fueling my body better, I was like, wow, I really feel better. And then the creme of the creme on top was the community that came out of it, right? And I always say the community is what keeps me coming back. It's what keeps me here. As I was, even the last couple of weeks, as I was just kind of reflecting in my own life, I was just like, whoa. Like, I was just like, wow, this is going to be, it's been a while and I need to connect with the team, because whether or not, like, it helps me realize that connecting with you all, like, it helps me to stay grounded. It helps all of us to stay grounded. It's an opportunity for us to come together, get charged back up for the week, and then we go out into the week and then we come back, and it's just a cyclical. So just really taking in this time of the year and really thinking about, where are you now? Where are you now present in relation to maybe the goals that you set for yourself back in January? Being really honest. And when I say being really honest, it's being honest simply so that you can observe it, not judge it, right? Not judge it, not say, man, I didn't do this, or be hard on ourselves. It's just to say, okay, this is where I didn't necessarily, stay on track. And this is where I got a little off track, or this is where, but it's important, before we know where we're going, right? Before we plan the vision and before we set the goals, we have to see where we are now. So, where are we? And we have to look at this in all areas of our life. Where are we in our fitness? Where are we in our nutrition? Where are we? And where are we in our our rest time? And that's something I even put this for later, is to talk to you all about the importance of rest, because again, the vision and the mission that I have for the team, and that I hope all of you will, want to be a part of, is really this. It's a more emphasis on the holistic individual, and a more emphasis on holistic living. and really, you know, the whole individual. And the whole individual is not just the doing, it's the being, it's the resting, it's, you know, making time for that. So asking yourself, you know, where am I in making time for myself, just for myself, separate from the fitness and the nutrition. And, you know, there's just sitting with yourself, which is incredibly important, right? Where are you in your business goals? You know, you know, where are you in terms of, you know, inviting and being consistent on social media? You know, have you gotten a little off track? Have you not been showing up as much? Have you not been as consistent? Have you not been sharing for a challenge group, you know, recently? Maybe have you committed to a challenge that you've stuck to for, you know, a month? Have you done a month challenge and stuck to it? You know, all these different things that we can do to take inventory of where we are. You know, have we signed on a new business builder? Have we promoted the business at all? Have we even talked about it? You know, and just like being, again, these are all just questions to ask yourself so that you can just say, huh, okay, this is an area of improvement. This is an area where I can, you know, make a 2 millimeter shift, right? Because that's how success happens, right? It happens in the millimeters. It happens in the everyday, actually, the everyday small moments, you know, the day-to-day action steps, the day-to-day choices that we make. You know, we tend to have these big goals and we have this big vision, and it doesn't mean just because, you know, and I think it's important, to have that eagle's eye view, but then it's important to realize that those dreams and those goals happen one brick at a time, one step at a time, one moment at a time. And sometimes we can get lost in that because we can become impatient, right? We can become frustrated, right? We can say this isn't happening fast enough. You know, this is, and one thing I'll ask, you know, for you is, in a way, and this is just in general, is like, you know, fast according to whom, right? Fast according to, you know, what expectations you have, right? And so understanding that if you have a dream, that dream is there so that you can accomplish it. And and yes, that dream is there. And just because it hasn't happened in a year or 4 years or 7 years or, you know, 10 years or 20 years, just because it hasn't happened in the way that you thought it was going to happen, it doesn't mean that you're not capable, and doesn't mean that it's still not there for you, right? It just means that, you know, there's still things and there's still steps and things that we need to adjust and do and learn. And so really asking yourself, you know, what are your goals? And write them down. Just write them down. It's really important to write them down. Write them down in a journal. This is what I said I want. This is what I said I wanted to do. And okay, I didn't do it, or I did this and I didn't do that. And like just noticing those, what you were consistent in and what you weren't consistent in, you know, because again, at the end of the day, um, your goals and your dreams are going to happen, you know, through those everyday actions. And so so now, you know, so just kind of as you guys reflect on that, are there some goals that you feel like you haven't hit that you can recall, or just certain like, feel like some goals that you said you were going to make, whether it's for your business or for your wellness, that you said you were going to do, but you didn't do, you know, or like you didn't exactly like hit the mark, right? And it's just really just observing them and just saying, okay. And then the next step is to, you know, and Blair says here, like, I'm in a rebuilding phase, one step at a time. Absolutely. You know, and that's where we're always in a rebuilding phase. That is the style of our business. We're always building. We're always adding people. We're always growing. The way I like to think about it is that we're the driver of a bus, right? We're the driver of a school bus or a bus, and we have a station. And at every, you know, we have a station, and at the station, we yell out and we invite people, and we're like, anyone here? Anyone want to come on? This is the bus of, like, you know, of health. This is the bus of joy, of radiance. Like, you get to choose what are those values, what are those feelings, those emotions that you want to embody, and you want to be on that bus. It's the party bus. Maybe it's the party bus and it's the dance bus. And you're like, this is where you're going to feel amazing. You're going to have community. You're going to feel at home. You're going to belong here. And you have a certain route that you drive every day. You have a certain route that you drive, right? And, you know, one day you're going to drive to the bus station and there's not going to be anybody there. But does the bus stop going? No, the bus keeps driving, and it's going to come back around, and it's going to come back around, and it's going to keep coming back around. And so that's, in a way, that's a little bit of what we do when we're inviting, right? And we're sharing our journey. We're on our bus. Maybe our bus is getting an upgrade. Maybe we got like we got fun colors in the bus now. And we have like new electronics. And so all these things. And so we have these like, we have a new bus, or maybe our bus looks a little janky, right? Maybe our bus needs, we're like, man, I need a new bus. Like, but we still keep coming around, and we still keep inviting, and we keep showing up. And that's the same thing with this business. It's like sometimes we're going to have that upgrade. Sometimes it's going to be a rough season. And sometimes, and it's going to keep flowing from, up and down, up and down. But we have to keep riding that route, keep driving that route, keep showing up. So Chelsea says, I wanted to hit Premier this year, but that is a very lofty goal now due to my struggle with recruiting business builders, not giving up to the end of the year, but I'll need a divine intervention. I've completed a divine intervention. I love that. We need to pray to Jesus to come and help. I've completed I've completed my extra bat every day for the past 5 weeks and hit Success Club 17 last one. Amazing. Pretty sure I haven't hit numbers that high since 2020. Amazing. So again, the consistency, right? I completed my extra bat. And so getting back to those consistencies, and that's going to be what I'm going to talk about right now, is that, okay, now that we have an idea, we took inventory. Now we're like, okay, this is not about like, oh, let me weigh myself. Let me like, think negatively about this and say it's too late or whatever. Just say, okay, this is where I'm at. What do I need to do every single day to move my business forward? What do I need to do? Like how do I need to feel, right? How do I need to feel? What are the actions I need to take? I was listening to this thing that Angie Belmar, one of the top, the top coach, Angie Belmar from last year, I was watching one of her videos, and she was talking about the domino in our day. I don't know if you guys have heard that concept from her, but she talks about how we have our to-do list, and we have this to-do list for the week, for the month, for the day, but there's a domino, which means there's one thing that if we do that one thing, it pushes all the other it helps all the activities. It helps all the things on our to-do list, right? So I want you guys to think about, write down right now, what's my domino? What is the one thing that I need to do every single day that helps me with the rest of the task of the day? Now, this domino doesn't mean that it's the big goal of the day, but maybe the domino could be something like, I need to wake up early. I need to get up early. If I get up early, right? If I get up early, if I move my body, like Blair says, first thing in the morning, if I make that commitment, I feel good. I feel better, right? Maybe it's going to bed early so that you can wake up early, right? Maybe it's, putting, challenging yourself to, if you're someone that struggles with the dopamine hit of social media, which is a big problem for a lot of people, maybe it's, okay, I'm going to really be mindful of the distraction of social media, right? And maybe instead of that, I'm going to read a book. Maybe when I'm feeling bored, I'm going to read a book, or maybe I'm going to write in my journal, or maybe, and I'm going to talk about this, maybe I'll go do something fun. Maybe I'll, and this is another thing I'm going to write this here, a fun box. And we're going to, maybe I'm going to do something fun, because again, when it comes to this business, when it comes to being an entrepreneur, right? Like at the end of the day, we have to be our biggest cheerleaders. We are our biggest motivators, right? We have to rile ourselves up. We have to, when things are like, Carla will even, Carla can speak to this, when things are, when you're not feeling it, what does she do? She listens to personal development, right? She does what she needs to do. Same thing with Chelsea. Like, you do what you need to do to get yourself more proactive, to change your state, to change your, emotional state. And so really thinking about what's that domino. And if you know it already, put it in here in the box. Like for me, I'll tell you right now, for me, the domino is waking up early and being very consistent with my morning routine. So being very consistent with that. So it's waking up early and immediately going into my morning routine. If I do that, I feel so much better. I feel waking up early without snoozing is definitely my domino. Yeah. you know, I know what Chelsea gets up at like the butt crack of dawn. So it's like she's like up at like 4:30. It's like so early. Or five. Super. And so is Carla. I admire all of you. I'm telling you, and so does my mom. I'm like working that way. Like that's my for me, it's also waking up and going immediately into meditation for me, and then doing some reading. If I do that, I feel really nourished. I feel really nourished for myself, and I feel accomplished for myself. And so yes, so thinking about what's that domino for you, right? And so maybe the goal right now, as we look to end the year strong, is to make sure we get that domino done every single day. You know, no excuses. Make sure we, or at least, you know, no excuses. Make sure we get that domino. Same here, Stephanie. My routine has been out the window after losing my eggs. Oh, Jill, this is perfect, right? Like, especially in these transition periods, right? When we're in these transition periods, this is where we really need to buckle down on these tools that we have, so that we don't get caught up here in our mind and in our fears and in our worries. Because when we get caught up here in the mind, this is why all these tools, you know, the working out, what we eat, you know, all these things that help us bring us into our body, you know, personal development, it helps us so that we don't give into the compulsive thinking. We don't give into the programmed thinking. We don't get, you know, caught up in the fears and the worries and because whatever we think, you know, we're creating. So yeah. So really, I know for me, it's like, that's a big one. It's like, when I think about ending the year strong, I'm like, it's really getting back to the basics for me. It's really, you know, and it's not, I don't want to say it's starting from the beginning, because I'm not starting from the beginning, because this is not the beginning. I'm just getting back to the basics. I'm just remembering that, you know what, my habits, you know, are the habits of a successful, you know, entrepreneur who is a successful Beachbody coach, who's an elite coach. You know, she does these things, and it's like, these are the things that have to be done. And these things will never change. You know, it's recommitting, it's remembering why you said yes to this opportunity. And it's reevaluating. I'm asking you in this season, this beautiful season of transition and, you know, deep reflection, to ask yourself, why am I still here? And why is this opportunity still important to me? So that you can refuel that for yourself and recommit and share that with other people, right? So it's recommitting, going back to the basics, you know, picking a program that feels aligned with you, you know, really, and it doesn't have to be the latest program, but picking a program that feels aligned with you. And notice, I want you, you know, notice the words I'm using, right? Because that's a big, you know, hope for me in moving forward in 2023, is that I really want this team, you know, I really want this team to stand for a team that is focused on self-care, focused on true holistic wellness and wholeness, and helping people to have energy, and helping people to have more joy in their life, right? And helping people to have more energy and to wake up excited. It's like, it's almost like I want the theme to be like, as I'm like talking to you guys right now, it'd be really cool. Like, the theme could be like, for 2023, it could be like, come alive. Like, come alive. Like, that's right. It's like such a beautiful theme. Like, so many people are just like walking. They're walking like asleep, right? They're walking in a depression. They're walking anxious. They're walking worried, weighed down about whatever. It's like all these things that really, in short, don't really matter. But what if the theme is to come alive again? What does it mean to be alive? You know, what does it mean? And alive to me means being in the present moment and living in the present moment. And so we do that with our workouts, right? So we do that. So again, how we're going to end the year strong, we're going to be recommitting to the basics of our workouts, recommitting to our nutrition. You know, where have you been with your nutrition? Have you been eating more sugar? Have you been drinking more caffeine? Have you been, yeah, the song from The Greatest Showman's a great opportunity. Yes, I played that last time, I think, in one of the last calls. Yeah. I really like that slogan, come alive. So yeah, where have you been with your sugar, right? Where have you been with your all your inflammatory foods, all of most of you should know what your inflammatory foods are. I feel like all of you are pretty good. You may not be consistent with it, but I think you know what you shouldn't be eating for your body. And it's not that it's because it's not because it's a punishment. It's just because it is what it is, and this is what affects your body. And so maybe it's, recommitting to like 4-week gut protocol or 2B mindset, and, really looking at your dairy content and your really focusing on getting that transformation for yourself. And transformation, not just physical, but emotionally and mentally, right? Getting that transformation again, coming alive again, right? Taking this season to say, okay, this is where I'm at, but coming alive in a way that is in a way that's sustainable. You know what I mean? Like in a way that's sustainable, not in a way that is gonna burn you out, not in a way that you're like, man, I can't keep this up. No, this is about let's get into a rhythm, let's get into a flow that is sustainable for your life. That is sustainable where you're like, I need this. Like if I don't do this, I feel, sick. I feel unwell. I feel depressed. I feel fatigued. Like I literally need to do this, for my own state of mind and my own, my own life. And so it's really, just thinking about, like, reflecting. And I want you guys to think about this. And I'll ask you on next week's call, to think about this. What's your domino? What program are you going to be committing to? What are you going to be committing to in your nutrition, right? And then the other thing that I want to encourage you, right? Committing to your nutrition, right? Getting back to the basics. And then it's personal development. It's how are you feeding your mind, and how are you taking care of your mind? And so to me, this is personal development and meditation. I want to encourage, we have a meditation program in our Beachbody On Demand. I want to encourage all of you to commit to the meditation program. It's 10 minutes a day, and it is life-changing. Meditation is life-changing. And so again, as a mission and a vision for 2023 of, not only just seeing ourselves as an elite team, and we'll talk about that at the end, right? But really being an elite team that stands for that holistic self-care, that holistic wellness, really where we're helping people to come alive, and we're helping people to find that joy in themselves and in their life. So committing to those first for ourselves, right? Because again, if we want to share this business, if we want to invite people, we have to feel good. And it doesn't mean that just because you don't feel good, you don't do the business, because that's not what I'm saying either. It doesn't mean you don't invite, but these are important. And if you keep these as part of your daily tools, you will have the energy and you will have the inspiration to share. And then it's sharing your journey, right? Going back to sharing consistently, coming in and sharing what you learn from your personal development, what you learn, from your day-to-day practice, right? Really coming together, coming in with a self-care practice for yourself every day, a morning routine, something that speaks to you. I speak a lot about daily self-care practice. And what does that include for you? What's the most nourishing thing that you can do for yourself? Maybe it's a bath, maybe it's prayer, maybe it's sitting in, all these things, going out for a walk in nature, all these different things that you can do for yourself to take care of yourself. And then in terms of sharing, then it's recommitting to reaching out to people and inviting them to this opportunity, inviting them into your next challenge group, right? Inviting them into being an accountability partner and an accountability person with you, as you walk the rest of this year, right? And I didn't say run, walk the rest of this year with consistency. And, so that you can, you can end it strong, and you can end it, with consistent habits, stronger habits that will set you up for an incredibly powerful 2023, right? Because we want to end this year strong so that we can have a powerful 2023. That's the goal. And so really, and writing down, okay, my goal is to invite 3 people into my group. My goal is to start a self-care challenge, which I'm going to talk about, a little bit too at the end, right? It's like, is coming together and doing, you know, a self-care challenge, coming together that incorporates, you know, Beachbody, incorporates our workouts, you know, and you don't have, you know, and it's doing it together. We can do it together to keep ourselves accountable to the end of the year. And, you know, we can invite people to it. But I'll talk about that in a moment. And so again, so it's getting back to the basics. And so this is really how we end, you know, we work towards ending the year strong. And another thing that I want to encourage is, as you're getting back to the basics and you're setting up your schedule and you're looking at how I'm going to do this, I want you to also pencil in time for rest. I want you to pencil it in, just like all like my planners here, pencil it in for rest that is undistracted. Write that down too, undistracted. This doesn't mean you're laying in bed and you're on your phone. That is not rest. That's not rest for your mind. That's not rest. I want you to, even if it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes, but pencil in rest for yourself. And then, because I want you all to incorporate these habits, because these are sustainable habits. You know, we can help people incorporate this. We will change people's health and we will change their lives. So penciling in rest. And Carla, I want you to tell the rest of your team that as well. Penciling in rest. And then I want you to pencil in playtime. Play. I want you to pencil in playtime. I want you to think about, what are the things that you enjoy doing? Something someone told me recently that I'm going to do is to get yourself a play box. So get yourself a little container and you put things in there that you can take out. So maybe, for example, you put a puzzle in there. You put things, coloring books in there. You put crayons if you like to paint, if you like to do art, you like to crochet, your yarn, everything. This is your play box. Whatever it is that you want to do, put it in your play box. Again, this is important. Okay, and especially if you have, you know, if you have little children around and they're in your life. Oh, look, Blair already has something there. She already has, so she's ready. But again, incorporating play. Play can also be practicing an instrument. Play can also be learning an instrument. I'm really encouraging you to think about, what is it that would nourish your soul? What is it that would nourish your body, nourish your mind? Maybe there's something you want to learn that's separate from needing to produce something, right? Maybe you want to, like, for me, it's like learning to play certain instruments, right? It's like, I'm not planning on making money off of that. Like, but I always say, I'm like, whenever I'm learning something new, I'm like, wow, like I'm strengthening my brain, right? Like I'm strengthening the neurons in my brain when we're learning a new skill, right? I just bought some singing bowls, for example, and I have to move my hands and I'm like, whoa, this is like a little challenging, but this coordination is helping me, you know, it's strengthening new neurons in my brain. Learning a language, that's also something, right? Maybe. So again, scheduling in some playtime. And so this is important because, again, I really, you know, my goal in rebuilding and in strengthening, you know, we have a strong foundation as a team, which is why we're here, you know, but let's strengthen, right? Strengthen the foundation even more. And we strengthen the foundation even more by, you know, really prioritizing these things that really help people to feel nourished. And if you can embody that, right? Because right now I'm telling you it and you're like, yeah, I know this in theory, right? In theory, I know I should rest. I know, you know, like, I mean, hello, our bodies rest. But knowledge and wisdom are different. Knowledge is what we know up here. Wisdom is when we apply it and we embody it in our body. And so I'm encouraging all of you to embody what you know, right? Embody what you know. You know rest is important. You know it's important to laugh and to play, right? So again, thinking about that. And so again, I'm encouraging you, as we think about ending the year strong, my invitation is about getting excited about your body again, getting excited about this business again, getting excited about your life again, getting excited about this opportunity, right? Because I feel like it's that excitement, you know, that excitement. I remember in the first 5 years of building this business, I had so much excitement but it wasn't founded in really it didn't have good roots. And that's why it kind of like got all scattered. But now we know what are the good foundational roots. We know what the roots need to be, right? The roots need to be the consistent nutrition, the workouts, the rest, the nutrition, the community, right? Connection, right? Community, coming to these calls, making these calls again, and participating in the calls. Maybe if leading a call, maybe just to kind of to put on the leadership hat. So that'll be really a great thing as well. And so yeah, so it starts with your daily habits, and it starts with how are you nourishing yourself. As a team, I really want us to be a team that helps others to nourish themselves, and we need to do that for ourselves first, so that then we can teach it to others, and we can be that for others, and be that example for others. And so again, for me, this is something, as I think about Beachbody, I really think about something that changed my life. And it's one of the reasons why I'm like, and I told Carla, I was like, this business is everything for me. Even if I've had ups and downs, like I could never, ever, ever imagine my life without all of you in it, and never imagine my life without this opportunity, and without, doing these workouts every single day, and posting sweaty selfies, and like, who would have ever thought 10 years ago, ever any of us, that this is what, that an opportunity like this, and we would meet these strangers on Zoom and on Instagram and social media, and they would impact our life so much. And I'm always so grateful, even though I go, yes, I have other things, and I'm constantly going through things and evolving and growing. But one thing that I've always said, even this year, as I stayed true, the one thing that's so important is how we treat our body. It's how we take care of our body. Doesn't matter what we want to achieve in life. If we don't have a healthy body, if we don't have a clear mind, if we don't have a good nervous system, right? If we don't re-regulate our nervous system, those of you who suffer from anxiety and like worry and all of that, that's just like, it's just a hyperactive nervous system. And we need to reprogram that. And we do that by bringing in the nourishment, bringing in the rest, bringing in the play, letting your body know it's okay. You knowing and believing that where you are is okay, right? Where you are is okay. One of my mentors told me recently, she was like, Stephanie, you have to love yourself where you are now. Love yourself and have compassion for yourself with where you are now. Not love yourself for what your potential can be. Not loving yourself for what your potential can be, or love yourself when you hit this goal, or love yourself when this and that. It's love yourself now, right? And have compassion for yourself now for whatever is going on in your life. And so again, so as I think about that, I really hope that you can through my actions, the ups and the downs, and the keep showing up, and the still showing up, like I show you my own kind of humanity, right? It's like, I'm human, we have our ups and our downs, and I still, show up in the ways that the best way that I know how, and I still keep going, and I refuse to give up, and I refuse to quit on myself and on others, really, and on helping other people with their body. And so, and I say this again because a good thing to kind of reflect on now as you think about ending the year strong is, what is your mission, right? Like, what is your personal mission? What is your why, your mission and your why, and how has that evolved? How has that changed? Now that you've gone through some down spells, right? Now that you like, things are like not as, it's not as fresh, or like, what is the mission now for you? What is it? What is the ideas, and what is it that will light you up and say, you know what, I want to be a part of that. And it's important for you to really reflect on that and think about that. What is the mission that excites you? And really, reevaluating your why, because again, as we change, our why may change, right? Like for me, my why now is all about, it's nourishing, and it's nourishing this community, and it's really helping people to prepare their body, helping people to really strengthen their body. It's still very similar, but it continues to tweak in little ways. And the roots grow deeper and deeper into really helping people, really be more whole and Yeah. So it's just like really thinking about like, what is your mission for yourself? And what is the, so that you, once you get clear on that for where you are now, you can take that and you can apply that and you can write it and put it somewhere where you can see it every single day. Maybe put it in the front of your journal where you can see it every day and it inspires you. A good question to ask yourself when you think about recommitting and thinking about what is your why is, what is it? I just want to make sure it's what is the thing that you could not do? Like, what is the thing that you're like, man, if I had to stop doing that, I would not be like, what is the thing that you could not do? Right? Like, just, you know, you don't have to answer it, but think about that. You know, what is the thing that you could not do? And then thinking about like, what are the things that light you up and what are the things that you feel energized from and bring you, you know, after after an experience of that interaction, you feel full, you feel excited, you feel happy, right? You feel better, you feel, you know, so again, these are the things to think about as you reevaluate your why and your mission. Is really thinking about, you know, what are these things that really mean a lot to you. And what I want to say too is that, you know, as that ultimately we make time for our priorities, right? We make time for our priorities. We make time for the things that matter to us. And we also make time where we feel it's worth our time. And so this has a lot to do with our own personal belief system of ourselves in this business, our own personal belief system of like, you know, our potential to impact, our own personal belief system of our own faith in ourselves, that we will be consistent, that we'll be successful, right? And success is unique to every single one of you. And what does that mean, right? And so just really thinking about that, because I was reflecting on that. I was like, you know, people make time for what's important to them, but they also make time for what they believe they could accomplish. Like, if you don't think you can do it, or you're like this isn't going to work, or, you know, then you're not going to make time for it. It's not going to be something you make time for. And so just really, you know, asking, you know, really thinking about what are your priorities, and how does Beachbody and how does the community and how does this opportunity play into your overall vision, and how has it supported you? And how does it continue to support you? And how has it supported you in the past? And how do you want to rekindle some of that, right? Because you see how impactful it was. And how can you strengthen that so that moving forward, we're even more consistent? Because, you know, there's a thing I have over in my living room, and it says, the grass is greener where you water it. The grass is greener where you water it. So, you know, it's, you know, so again, really thinking about, you know, where are you, where are you, what's your focus on in your thoughts, right? Are you saying, this isn't going to work, I'm not going to have success, nobody wants to join my team, no one's, you know, people are going to think I failed, like, oh my goodness, you know, what are they going to think of me? I haven't been back in forever, I haven't done a team call in forever, like, they're going to think I'm a horrible leader, they're going to think I'm a horrible coach, they're going to think, you know, I like got off track, I gained 15 pounds, like, I lost my job, like all these, like, are we focusing on these thoughts, right? Or, you know, because if that's the case, we're watering very weedy grass. We're watering a very weedy grass. And so again, you know, through our thoughts, through our habits, you know, what we water is what will grow. And so yeah, so really, you know, as I kind of like sum up this call, it's as we think about just moving forward and ending the year strong, it's thinking about getting back to the basics, you know, in all areas of our life, really reflecting on where we are, really thinking about what is your goal for the rest of this year in relation to Beachbody. So maybe you're like, okay, it's October 10th. That means we have until the end of the year, you know, we have a little over 2.5 months. I want to help 5 people. I want to help 10 people, right? Especially, and again, this is actually a very potent time to really stay consistent, because a lot of people start getting excited again around the new year, right? So this is a potent time to start to be consistent and to share and to talk about these themes, all the themes that I said here. Talk about, you know, nourishment, talk about, you know, rest, talk about, you know, the need to reduce stress, talk about, you know, the body, talk about, you know, the mind, like talk about all these things in your post, so that people can see, they're like, wow, you know, she's right. Because trust me, you start talking about these things and people are going to be like, she's right. She's right. I need this. I'm tired. I'm fatigued. I'm burnt out. Like I'm working like a dog. Like I'm just, and everyone's tired. A lot of people, can get tired. And again, this is also a season, right? We're going into the like where it's gonna be darker sooner. So especially people who are living in the colder climates, this is a season for a lot of seasonal depression, right? So again, how can you be the light, right? How can you be a light for others? That's another like encourage like you even if that doesn't inspire, like that inspires me, like to be a light for other people just by even posting a quote, right? Or posting it in my story, knowing that there's someone watching, or just by my energy of being around my family or being around friends or talking to people. It's like, what is the energy that you're putting out, right? What is the energy that you are being to others? Are you being that light? And that energy gets cultivated. That energy gets cultivated in your small day-to-day habits, right? That energy of who you are, that light becomes brighter. That light becomes brighter in that morning routine. That light becomes brighter when you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, and you immediately say yes, right? Like that's what starts to create that light to shine, right? And then another thing is not being afraid to shine that light. One thing someone told me once was like, Stephanie, no one's gonna shine your light but you. So, a lot of times, what are we waiting for to shine our light, right? It's like, no one's going to shine our light. We need to take the big, like, what is it called? Those lights in like theater. I forget what those called, those spotlights. We need to become a big spotlight, and we need to be like, we need to like, point that light, and we need to not be afraid to shine the light and realize that we have a light to shine, and that light gets cultivated and brighter in our daily habits. So yeah, so as I think about the team, like the goal, is for the goal for me is for Team HYP for end of 2023 is that we are an elite team, that's founded, again, that's founded on a culture and a community that focuses on holistic self-care, that focuses on holistic wellness, that focuses on the whole person, that is a home to all, right? Where everyone is invited and everyone is welcome, where all seasons of life are celebrated, right? All seasons of life are celebrated. And all seasons of life are able to we can walk through all seasons of life because we have the right tools, because we have really well-rooted tools of fitness, nutrition, meditation practices, silent time, play, rest, community. These are the tools. These are the well-rooted tools that anything strong can be built from. And so again, thinking about what is your goal? What is your personal goal? So I want you to think about that, and I want you to share that in our chat, our chat for the team, and share that. What is your personal goal, for the rest of this year? And what is your goal for 2023? And, and again, creating a big goal for 2023, because we have plenty of time to get behind that, but it starts now. It starts now with being consistent. It starts now with running a really powerful challenge for yourself, which I wanted to share the one thing right here. Hold on, stop the share. I wanted to share this. Oh, right here. So this is a different type of challenge that I want to encourage you guys and look at. It's called the 75 Rooted Self-Care Challenge. And I'll put this in the group. But it's similar to 75 Hard for those who have done 75 Hard. But this one's a little different because it's more about this idea of nourishment and rooted. So it's the same idea of following a nutrition plan, 2 20-minute workouts, one outside, but check in with a photo, and then reading 10 pages or meditation, right? Because sometimes, time is short, or sometimes if you have both, you have to choose one. Drinking your body weight in water. So we added a water. That was actually part of the other one too, water. And then writing affirmations and gratitude or journal for 5 minutes, and then check in on a friend, a loved one, or an accountability partner. So notice here, it's checking in on a friend. Doesn't have to be someone in the business. Checking in on an accountability, a loved one maybe. But again, this is about really creating and cultivating strong roots so that whatever we are building in 2023 is founded in strong roots. And that's what I want for all of us, is strong roots. Because if we, if we don't have strong roots, then our trees are going to fall, the tree that we're building. So this is about how do we look forward into 2023 and how do we, create a strong root. So I'll share this, and maybe this is something, what I would like is for us to do this as a team, for us to, come together and do this as a team and be consistent. And maybe we do it on a WhatsApp group, or we could do it, where I can see where we want to do it, but we could do it somewhere where we can really stay accountable, especially throughout November and in December. Would be really, something really good to do. And again, this is something that you can also share with your customers and share with your, with your team, with your extended team as well, to see who would be interested. Or maybe, it'd be cool to run it a little bit together, and just kind of like support each other, in these final kind of weeks of 2022. It's already like final 2.5 months. That's it. And so yeah, so that's what I wanted to share. And so, I want you guys to think about what's your goal, your goal for the rest of this year. What's your goal for 2023? Think about your mission. Think about like, what are the values? What's the mission? Like, what is it you really want to, and maybe we could do, like, maybe one of the calls we'll do is like a workshop style, kind of thinking about our mission and our why, and, kind of thinking about like values and words. I think we can do it like a workshop style and really think about like, what are the words and the values that we want to embody in our life? Because that's important. It's important to gain some clarity in that, like that. And so that you can get excited and you can know, okay, this is what I stand for. And and I feel good about this. Like, I feel like I can do this till the end. So yeah, so does anyone have anything to share? Or thank you for your attention. Thank you for your time. Oh, let's take a photo. Let's do that. Let's do that. We'll take a quick little photo. And then I know people have to go. There we go. All right. We'll do a boomerang. Ready? Start. Walk. Moving. 1, 2. Yay. Awesome. So yeah, so let's keep the conversation going in our chat. And, and if you guys have any other thoughts or ideas, send me a message. If you want to, brainstorm, anything, send me a message as well. But otherwise, I'll see you all next week as well. So we'll have the team call next week, probably on Monday too. I'll post it in the team page as well. Alrighty. Awesome. All right, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.